Are you ready to grind? It's Sports 56 Grind Time with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Now, here's Peter and Anthony.
Oh, man!
Yeah.
Grind time. That's 11 of them.
Yes, sir, in a row. Not 10, but 11 in a row. You ain't know I knew nothing about that, did you?
Oh, I remember that.
You ain't know I knew nothing about that one, did you?
I did that. Yeah, you pulled it from way back. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, 8, not 9, not 10.
That's when we do the rush ripoff. Me and Ron would rip off other shows' gimmicks and change them slightly. We moved 10 in a row to 11 in a row.
Yeah.
How about y'all rip off Sesame Street?
Ripping off nothing.
That's not a show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll be tonight, baby. Tonight'll be 12, baby.
2.5 questions. We did 3 questions, I think. Or we did 3 1/4 questions, something like that.
Yeah.
2 1/4 questions. That's right. Oh, yeah. Back in the day. Fantastic. Man, welcome into Grind Time. My name is Peter Edmiston, joined by Anthony Sane, Darian Newsom, producing the program today. Hope you're having a good one. It's a beautiful Friday. Weather's great. Life is good. What more do you need? Grizzlies just keep winning, even when they play poorly, even when things don't go exactly right, even when there's all sorts of struggles. They just cannot stop winning. We will see if it moves to 12 tonight against the Dallas Mavericks, but it's at 11. It's at 11 right now, the youngest team in NBA history, according to SportsCenter, to get to that 11 win in a row mark. They are 30-14, just the third team this year to win 30 games, 21-4 in their last 25 games. The numbers continue to just get sillier and sillier with each passing game, and no number is sillier than the number 17, as in 17 rebounds
and 15
for John Conchar.
Bro, I'm looking.
One of the silliest numbers in the history of silly numbers. Absolutely mind-blowing. We're going to talk about that, believe me. And I know Anthony's saying people have really your previous criticisms of John Conchar have really gotten under the skin of some folks. And
some.
I got a lot of texts. I got a lot of texts last night from various folks,
quote unquote,
saying, "Man,
quote unquote,
man,
some.
I hope you get after him. Get after him, insane." And I got a lot of those last night. So I'm not. Sane's already. He's already put John Conchar in the White American Hall of Fame. That's pretty good. I think a direct apology still would be appropriate, but
direct apology to who?
That's to Conchar for your years of disrespect and saying he was terrible and the worst player and awful and should be traded and cut. And
how can you trade a dude with no trade value? Come on. Yeah. I ain't never said that. I ain't never said trade John Conchar.
Oh, you just said cut John Conchar. That's even worse.
No, okay.
I remember the discussions.
So what y'all want me to say?
I don't know. I don't really care, but some people are really upset about it. So
some people. Describe these some people. What they look like?
Well, actually, they're different. They're not. They don't look like what you would think.
Oh.
They're more of a mixed group than you might think. I'll put it that way.
A melting pot of haters.
There's a little bit of pepper in there as well. So, John Conchar is represented by many.
Jitty
not
Nation.
just the ones you. Jitty Nation is.
Bro, if y'all think I wasn't happy as y'all were last night.
Baby Zebo.
When Conchar was going off like that, you lost your mind.
I mean, it's the craziest thing, man. It's absolutely just nuts. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Grizzlies are just this one. It's just at some point you have to. You have to accept that maybe it's just fate. Maybe it's just just a special seed. Maybe you can't fight destiny, and maybe this is just destiny for a really special year. I don't know. When you start seeing John Conchar with a 15-point, 17 rebound performance, then you start to think that maybe this team's just destined to win a championship. I can't really. You can't really rule it out.
When you have games where John Conchar gives you 15 to 17 and
You can't rule out anything. I'll be honest with you. You can't. There's that. Literally, if you, I mean,
playing clutch
I don't know
defense against D'Angelo Russell in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, outplaying like all-star level. At some point, you just have to say, you know what, maybe this is.
Oh man.
Life is wild. So we're going to talk about that, obviously. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to talk to our buddy Adam Kramer about the national championship won by Georgia, where we go from here. The playoffs having some significant hurdles in expansion. We'll talk about that stuff coming up here on the program as well. Later on, Kari Thompson joins us in hour number 2 to get into a whole bunch of issues involving honestly, I don't know. We'll get to a lot of things with Kari. So we're going to do all that as we continue here on the program. You could join us on the AutoZone listener line. Get in the zone. AutoZone. You can do all that with us. 360-8255-901. 360-8255. Hit us up there. You can hit us up on the chats as well. So you can text those numbers or call those numbers, 360-8255, or you can chat with us at the various platforms that we are streaming on. We'd love to hear from you throughout the show. It is one of those wild, just crazy days. And as much as we have struggled and dealt with the major problems that the Tigers have had, you just have to sit back and relax and just say,
who gives a crap?
It doesn't even. It just. I know it doesn't. It doesn't even matter. I guess at this point, doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't.
Ford. I had a dream that dude confronted me about it. What's his name?
You talked it up. You were walking out of the studio saying it. Yes.
I had a dream that he came to like, man, I'm just a guy that's trying to make a living, man. I'm just trying. That's my thing, and I'm riding with it, man. It's almost like you're trying to destroy me, man.
I didn't hear it about you talking.
Are you sure it was a dream? Are you sure?
It's probably coming soon.
You might be getting some issues.
I'm not saying that he's bad, but it's obvious. Like that's his thing. Like that's what he's.
He's gonna have an outfit on like showing up.
Let's not get it. Let's not get into it. From there. Let's just.
I did have a dream. I had a dream. Dude confronted me though. Like not like mad, but just disappointed. Like man, I'm just out here trying to. Just trying to
man. I'm just disappointed.
Carve my path, man.
It is absolutely crazy what's happened with the Grizzlies. They continue to win. They win for the second straight game, 116-108. Which again, what are the odds of that? So you have the exact same score, 2 games in a row, and 3 straight games where they won by exactly 8 points. So the numbers kind of aligning for the Grizzlies. This was a balanced effort. Led by 21 from Desmond Bane, even though he didn't shoot the 3-ball particularly well, 2 of 8. Got to the foul line a bunch. He was very aggressive. 21 points for Bane. Jaren Jackson Jr., another stellar performance. 20 points on 10 shots, 2 threes, 5 blocks. Another major block performance from Jaren Jackson Jr., who is he's proving to be a phenomenal rim protector, as we all kind of expected that he would, and he certainly is doing that in these minutes that he's playing without Steven Adams and playing in the center position. Brandon Clark continues his revitalization, 14 points, 8 rebounds off the bench. Ja Morant, this was a quiet Ja Morant night, and it's still 16 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, a near triple-double for Ja, in spite of missing all 7 threes that he took, and just going 5 of 16. Looked like he had a little back situation late in the first half, and I think he's fine, but it did look like it hampered him just a little bit out there. It didn't seem like he was quite at his absolute peak, so we can keep an eye on that for tonight. But I think he's fine long term, but he wasn't quite himself in this game. Timberwolves are a good team when they're playing, and there's a reason why their starting lineup is the most productive lineup in the NBA. That lineup of Russell, Beverly, Vanderbilt, and then Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, 2 potential all-stars in the group. D'Angelo Russell looked great. Karl Anthony Towns, phenomenal offensive player. And then Anthony Edwards, and you pointed out, and you and I are in the same boat on this, just wrong all the way on this kid. I
apologize for that crap, for sure.
He is a big-time scoring
Hooper.
guard. I mean, Hooper, big, thick, strong, just puts it. He looks good shooting them. He's that prototype kind of guard, prototype size. So it's a nice win for the Grizzlies because this team was playing pretty well.
Yeah, man, it was a huge win. They say that you can measure, a truly great team by if they can go out there and win ugly and win games they're not supposed to win. The Tigers, look at this. The Grizzlies look like – I said something about a team looking like they're out of the game. I mean, the Grizzlies looked like they were out of the game a lot. Not score-wise, but just didn't look like they had it last night. But they were able to just hang around and turn it up at the end of the game. And, and big players stepped up. John Conchar was nuts, you know what I mean? And, yeah, man, just to win a game like that just kind of shows you the type of team, the type of season these Grizzlies are having, man. And like you said, you had – that Minnesota, their big three guys, when they all get going, man, they're a load, man. They're tough to deal with because D'Angelo Russell was a problem, in the second half of that game. But to beat a team like that who's coming for you and all three of their guys are having big nights, yeah, it's major, bro. It's major for sure. But that Minnesota team, they have three good players, but man, the chemistry between those three guys is weird to say the least. Because both times we beat them, Anthony Edwards was having a crazy game, and then the other two guys just kind of froze him out in the second half, and we were able to kind of hang around. They need to make room for that kid, man, Edwards. I mean, that dude is the real deal. I mean, he's got Michael Jordan's DNA in him. That's probably the hugest part of it. But yeah, that's probably what makes him that good. But they need to make room for that kid for sure, man, because D'Angelo Russell, he's kind of like Russell Westbrook with a jumper, but
yep.
Seriously, because he freezes out guys, man. Like and Russell's good. He's a heck of a scorer for sure. I would love to have like a poor man version of him, like a guy that can just come off the bench and get buckets, which may end up being Dylan Brooks. But anyway, yeah. Like,
I'm so glad you gave Mr. Edwards his props. Thank you.
Yeah, that Minnesota team is and Anthony Edwards is the real deal, man. Like
he's real.
That dude is. Whew,
I love him, man.
A load,
I
man.
love him.
Not
as much as Kevin Knox, but I love him.
Somebody said like his ceiling is like
play, so that's a big difference there.
not saying he's the same thing, but somebody on Twitter was like said he's like young Kobe if Kobe started shooting threes early in his career. Like Edwards got game, bro.
And he has an attitude, like he has a mean streak.
And props to him for showing out in front of his future team, getting the Grizzlies front office attention. I appreciate.
I don't know how that's gonna happen, but
and don't worry about it, man. You also said you didn't think anybody would ever come here. Imagine saying that now today. That you don't think nobody would want to come here. You think nobody want to play with some dudes?
Like I said, I still need to see it.
He's from the South. I mean,
all right, P, you don't see it.
I mean, you got to show it to me. I got to see it. There have been amazing stories, amazing teams, but I'm gonna tell you, the Grizzlies aren't planning for this. They aren't planning for it that way. I just don't think it's gonna.
Stuff happens, man. When a dude like that say, "I ain't going nowhere unless it's Memphis," you start making stuff happen.
If that happens, hey, God bless him. And he, of course, Anthony Edwards, a Georgia Bulldog who won a national championship. So there you go.
And beat
Memphis.
His
football team did. At least his football team did. And his basketball team beat Memphis this year. But the story last night was John Conchar. 15 points, 17 rebounds off the bench, shattering the record for guard rebounds this year. Bruce Brown was the leader with 12 for the Nets back in December. Conchar killed that record with 17. One off the NBA record for rebounds by a guard off the bench. We're talking just
oh my god,
yeah, just crazy stuff, man. Just crazy. Conchar has always been a really good rebounder for his size, but last night it just was everywhere, man. And he came in and completely, changed the game in so many ways. Not only that, but then he's 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from three. Hit some timely shots. Played closing minutes. Played good defense. I mean, it was like this dude is the, when everybody's healthy, he's the 11th or 12th guy on the roster. I would say at this point. But yet he played, pivotal role. That's what makes this team so special, man. And that's why, it's so unique and so much fun to watch this 11-game winning streak. It's not like they're, the big three and they're relying on, the same guys every night. certainly Ja and Jaren are going to be the key to everything, in Bane and all those guys. But like it's some nights it's Brandon Clark, some nights it's Tyus Jones, was going crazy against the Warriors. Then it's John Conchar with 17 rebounds. They're doing all this despite the fact that they're not shooting the ball particularly well as a team. Last night they went 25% from the 3-point line, 8 of 32. They shot a University of Memphis-esque 24 of 35 from the foul line. Missing 11 free throws. Jaren missing 4 in a row.
Oh man,
in that fourth
it
quarter.
felt like it's like this just ain't our night. When he missed those 4 free
it just
throws,
kind of had that feel.
yeah.
But this team's different, man. It just they're different. They don't accept that. They don't accept the it's not our night, so let's just wrap it up and go home. They just don't accept it. And as a result, couple that with the Jazz loss from Wednesday, and the Grizzlies now have a full 1-game lead in the third spot in the Western Conference, the 4th best record in the NBA total. They'll play the Bulls, who have the 3rd best record in the NBA total, on MLK Day on Monday. What a crazy turn of events that is. Now the Jazz are getting Rudy Gobert back tonight, perhaps, or very soon. So that will definitely help them start to rise back up, I would imagine. But nonetheless, just hey, man, I don't know. To watch and look at after the game, man, just to see how excited everyone was for Jitty and how somebody tweeted me Jitty for the city. On the new
we got that here too. We got that.
Love it.
It's on YouTube. Somebody said that too.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to make that a shirt too, man. Sorry. You shouldn't put that out there.
You got it. You got it.
That's about to drop in the next 30 minutes. Just to be honest with you.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that. For sure.
Anyway, yeah, man. Text also says, "Is Anthony Edwards Michael Jordan's son?" Yes. Well, do your own research, but yes.
Yes.
Anyway.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff, and to see the excitement of his teammates, after the game's over and everything. I mean, they just like each other, man.
Yeah.
They just like each other.
They almost act like a college team, Peter. They behave the way a college team should act.
And the college team acts like a pro team.
Bunch of pros out there. Guys arguing over money and contracts and don't like each other and playing time. And
Yep.
It's a bizarre world we live in, man. Grizz is probably younger than that Tigers team, too. No.
Some of them. I mean, DeAndre Williams would come in and be a solid vet for this Grizzlies
just
group.
An energy guy. Him and Yves Pons.
Zaire Williams on the team, and he would be by far the youngest Williams. 3 years. He could be Zaire Williams' dad, for all we know.
Oh, man.
Can't rule that out.
DeAndre Williams is 5 years older than Zaire Williams. 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
Good God, man.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird. You forget the Ja and Jaren. I mean, they're just 22, and Jaren is younger than Ja. It's just wild, man.
Yep. Kids.
I don't know. You just run out of stuff, man. You run out of superlatives. This is an incredible run. They were 19-14, and now they're 30-14. And so, at this point, so they have 44. They've played 44 games. That means there's 38 games left. So if they just go 500
50
from here on out, that's a 49-win season. If they play 500 basketball from here on out, that's a 49-win season, which is more than I think everyone would have predicted.
Yeah.
If they play like 600 basketball, then you're going to talk about a 55 or 56-win season at that point,
which would be a franchise record. Franchise record.
And if they can play, as they've played in the last 25 games, they played 21-4. Now that's a little crazy, probably, but if they can continue that run, then this could be a 60-win team.
Right.
That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Let me scan through my tweets. I put a lot of stuff going out towards
they finished the season 30-8, which is,
it's possible.
A little less than the pace they've been on.
It's 60, right?
That's 60.
30-8. It's crazy. Hold on. I put off a lot of tweets toward the Hawks, so I got to go dig deep in my archives to find this actual Grizz tweet here. Oh, man.
Oh, and while you're doing that, let me give a shout out here. I tweeted out last night, John Conchar was an incredible heat check from the Grizzlies front office.
Mm-hmm.
A 4-year undrafted guy from Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, who literally 99% of the basketball world had never heard of, and now this, which, got a lot of but who came out was the Jitty Draft Hive. I had Jonathan Givoni of Draft Express just responded with just a link to his piece on Conchar from 2017.
What did he say?
He just responded with that link as if to say, just like, hey, I knew about this guy.
Yeah, it's what you do for a
living. I had Jonathan Wasserman from Bleacher Report. Same thing. He responded with his big board from whatever. I had Chris Harrington talk about different guys that liked him, and Kevin Pelton, and Kevin Pelton responded. So, like, the Jitty, like the Nerd Hive, the National Nerd Hive, was on top of it. Like, I knew about this guy. Y'all, as I told one of them, y'all are the 1%. Yeah. That's the 1%. As the 99% of people
talk about the guys they've been extremely wrong about. Like, which one of them was Killian Hayes was the best player in the draft? Yeah, a couple years ago.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, all I'm saying is, like, that's all well and good, but it's like these music people that, like, really obscure, like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, most people are, reading the Billboard charts. Like, most people are, like, listening to, like, what's popular. Like, I'm not saying y'all are wrong or incorrect or whatever, but y'all represent a small portion of the basketball world. You go to, like, the barber shop and say, hey, man, you check out John Conchar. Like, who the
hell is John Conchar?
What is a John Conchar? What is that?
Right.
What does that even? So, no, that's what I mean. Like, the regular just basketball folks who just enjoy watching the sport.
They have no clue who that is.
No idea who John Conchar is. And you take a 4-year guy from Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, the Mastodons.
Yep. Who had a porn?
I watched some of his tape and from college, and it's like filmed on somebody's GoPro. Like, it's it's like it's shaky cam, like, it's, I mean, in a high school gym, terrible, right? But he's now look what he's become. I mean, he's a viable NBA player.
And he's going to get a payday. The Grizzlies may not hang
He's
on
already got a payday. They already extended him 4 years.
Sure
He'll get another. Yeah, they should. So, I mean, how smart are they?
Man,
I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Give y'all just a quick perspective. The Grizzlies' best season ever, record-wise, was 2012-2013. They won 56 games at that point. At this point in the season, they were 29-15. The 2014-15 Grizzlies, the second best season, they had 55 wins total. They were 32-12. This year's Grizzlies are 30-14. So they're a game ahead of the all-time pace and 2 games behind the second best pace. But you remember they fell off really bad that year. The 2014-15 year, I think they were like 17-3. Or something like that to start the season. Then they started falling off really bad. But right now they're on pace to keep up with the best Grizzlies team of all time, and they're the second youngest team in the NBA. It's nuts, man. It's when you just sit and just think about what these guys are doing, and like we talked about this yesterday. Like, if Ja wasn't going bananas, like the trend, how good Jaren has been transitioning from 4 to playing the 5 would be the insane storyline here locally. If Ja wasn't going crazy on top of it. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of got thrown under the rug that it looks like Jaren is going to be your 5 of the future, possibly next year. You know what I mean? So it's all wild, man. It's all extremely wild.
And then on top of that, I just saw the Grizzlies or the NBA just announced that Jaren Jackson Jr. Is the winner of the 2021 the December Community Assist Award. So, I mean, off the court. Man, it's just.
Bro, you're about to win the championship, bro.
I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, they can't lose. They can't lose anywhere. Like, it just on the floor, off the floor.
Right.
Just a good.
2 weeks ago, we were sharing stats about how Zaire Williams kills his team when he's on the floor. Zaire Williams is your starting.
And he did. And he did.
He's your starting guard of the team, man.
It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. You just, like I said, you run out of superlatives. You really do. We'll get into some more of them. We'll get into some of the numbers over the course of the rest of this program. But when we come back, we're going to switch gears, talk a little college football with our pal Adam Kramer for the last time in the regular season, and then we'll keep talking to Kramer. But this is the last time we can talk about this year's regular season and bowl matchup with Georgia as the champion. We'll do that next as we stick around here on Grindtime Live from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk Sports 56 and 98.5.
The all-new Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Brought to you by Action 24/7, James Gaddis Jewelers, and Acura of Memphis. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. Hurricane season is upon us. Is your roof ready? Are your shingles laying down and sealed properly? Call me right now, 867-0303. They say you get what you pay for. That's why my opinion is free. Maybe you've got years of life left in your roof. If so, I'll tell you that. But if I find storm damage or a compromised roof system, I'll lay out some options for you. Don't let them tell you it needs to be replaced if it only needs a repair. Call me, 867-0303. Has your insurance company already seen it and rejected your claim? Maybe they're correct. Most of the time, they're not. They do tend to become more reasonable once I get involved, though. 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? Glasses have been around 700 years. Isn't technology supposed to get less expensive over time? Well, there's a simple explanation. For decades, the eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high while reaping huge profits.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. And if you need an updated prescription, they've got a few easy ways to help you get one. Just go to warbyparker.com to try 5 pairs of frames for free. They'll ship them to you to try out for 5 days. If you find a style you like, they'll send you a fresh pair with your prescription. Easy. Go to warbyparker.com to pick your 5 frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com to get started for free. warbyparker.com.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Oh! A little Funky Friday for you. You got that, Darren's got like a little, like a time frame, like a kind of an early to mid 80s kind of thing going a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's a little time frame when Darian kind of.
Yeah, this is a little back.
I feel like I was Darian's childhood.
Yeah, it's probably when he was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he was listening to.
And Mama and them, that's it. See, Peter, you don't know nothing about this. This is Saturday morning clean up the house music that it probably shaped his childhood, man.
Hey, man, it's better than my country Applebee's song I tried to give him earlier this week.
Oh, yeah.
He said, what the hell are you doing?
No.
Peter, this is that music where when you hear this, you know you got 5 minutes to be in the living room with a broom in your hand.
Yeah.
And some furniture polish. You got 5 minutes to be out the bed with a broom.
Sweeping the rug. Sweeping rugs.
Oh yeah, it's
No, that's true. We got that.
Peter, what do white
got a
people listen to
playlist.
when y'all clean the house up?
He's so silly.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I wouldn't in the
Hotel
house.
California.
I wouldn't in the
Hotel
house, so I don't know.
Not Hotel California.
Have you ever seasoned your tub before, Peter, with Ajax?
We talked
With
about
Connor.
that. Yeah. We talked about that. Yes, yes, I have.
Shot
No, I
that
wasn't
it
when I was a
turned
kid.
blue.
When I was a kid, I wasn't in the house when it was getting clean, so I don't know.
What you mean? Oh, you outside? Your mom let you go
Yeah.
outside? Oh no.
No, I mean the maid was doing it. I don't know who.
Oh, of course. My bad. Oh,
How dare you? How dare you?
I don't know. I don't know who's. I don't know what. I don't know.
Did
I
the
don't know what she
maid
was
also
listening to.
serve as your nanny? Like, did she teach you how to read and tell you would be you
No,
smart?
she did not. No,
You kind, all that kind of. Did she do all those type of things? Peter, you smart.
Yes.
You
Yes,
gonna,
she did. You
Peter,
smart.
you gonna be a math genius. You gonna be on the radio one day, Mr. Peter.
His name on his cereal bowl.
Yeah, that's
Cut the
right.
crust off his bread.
I know.
Peter, that might be why Peter has this infatuation that we talk about so much because of his black maid.
Carolyn was her name.
Yeah, Miss Carolyn. That's what it is.
Carolyn. Oh, I love Miss Carolyn. She's awesome.
Peter, you smart. You
To
gonna
this-
be
to
you gonna
this-
be
to
a
this day-
math. You gonna be Miss
To this
Carolyn.
day, my dad, between my mom and Carolyn, my dad, I don't think ever watched. Like he had now, that when mom passed, I don't think that dad has any clue how to wash clothes. Even
Peter,
if
you
he's
had a
done
maid
anything.
for real?
For real. I'm not joking.
You had a black lady in your house named Carolyn.
Who's named Carolyn? Yes, that's 100% real. That's a 100% real story.
That explains everything.
that was very close to me. That I still see. I talked to her. Just a few months ago. We still
For real?
talk.
She got
yeah.
some daughters and stuff.
Oh yeah, she was.
What's
yeah,
the
she's-
for, Peter? Man, let me find out, Peter. This kid, I thought he was joking.
360-825. I wasn't joking. I was being dead serious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Miss
like I said,
Carolyn,
my dad
Miss
still
Carolyn
didn't-
shaped your early childhood, didn't she, Peter?
She was. Because
Peter, you're gonna be a mathlete. You're gonna be on the radio one day.
Let's talk to Adam Craig. Let's talk to Adam Craig.
Adam was like, wait, you got a maid? Oh man, mute my mic, man. Mute my mic.
That's right. Adam Kramer,
Adam,
good
what's up,
afternoon, my friend. Adam Kramer from Bleacher Report, of course. Golden Tee from all over the world of content, my friend. Well, it's another season has come and gone, and Adam Kramer, we kind of thought at some point Georgia would have to do it. And for a moment there in the fourth quarter with one of the craziest turns of events you'll ever see, thought it was going to be cruelly snatched away from them again. But, man, the response from Stetson Bennett and the Bulldogs was incredible, and they're the champs.
Yeah, you could feel it. Like there was the stadium, which was very pro-Georgia. I'd say probably 70-30 Georgia. When you can feel it slipping away, it got very – very odd in there, like just the whole vibe. And then when it started to come back, that place exploded. So I think the biggest thing in a series of big things when you talk about this game and just this season, you rarely see Alabama wilt, right? Like Alabama is the one that makes you tap out and quit. And I'm not saying that Alabama quit, but there's a moment when Georgia does its Georgia thing and gets the lead after a field goal fest where the O-line and D-line of Georgia just overpowered that game. Bryce Young could do nothing, obviously losing, his second 1,000-yard receiver didn't help, but I don't want to make that like the reason that Alabama didn't win, although it was a big part of it. Mm-hmm. I just think Georgia, we talked about this elite roster of elite players, and pretty much all of them showed up, right? Like in one moment, there's James Cook running free. There's Jordan Davis doing his thing. There's Nakobe Dean everywhere. The speed in this game was outrageous. Just a ridiculous combination of athletes. And then, to do it with a walk-on quarterback who got on Good Morning America, either hungover or likely still drunk the next day in one of the greatest interviews a student athlete has ever done. God bless him. Like, that was an amazing moment.
What's he did? He was just like, hey man, hey guys.
It's a tough assignment. Whoever scheduled that's. I mean, the guy's drinking Pappy out of the bottle, which is one of the more gangster moves a college quarterback has ever done. Somebody hands you a
you talk about NIL. You talk about NIL right there.
Yeah.
Just I mean, that's the move right there.
But
you get a bottle of Pappy. That ain't cheap.
Well,
I promise you that.
You know, I wrote about this though. Like Kirby Smart, if he loses that game and he sticks with his former walk-on quarterback, is going to be eviscerated. Like that's it. And he didn't. Like the guy delivered, and in a pretty fascinating way. And it took 4 or 5 years, and Kirby Smart assembled this team of just a ridiculously talented team, and it came together. But again, it's unique to see Alabama kind of break in its own style of play, which Georgia did.
Adam, how much do you think that the losses of John Mechie and Jameson Williams for Alabama affected the actual outcome of the championship game? Do you think if those guys were available, you would have been telling a different story today?
I think it's hard not to say yes. Like I think Georgia still wins that game, but like when we look at the SEC championship game, you know, Mechie had close to 100 yards. Williams was a superstar in that game, running free and creating huge plays. I don't want to make excuses, but yeah, like if you lose your top 2 offensive skill position players, as good as Bryce Young is, I think it had an impact, and you saw that. Like people were not getting open. You know, it just didn't work out. But again, how much of that factor in? It's hard to know. But yeah, your top 2 wide receivers go down for anybody, for a team that is going to want to throw the ball. Of course, it's going to have an impact there, and it's hard to calculate what that is. But both those dudes are probably going to go very early on in the draft, and that speaks to the value when they're healthy. And not having them is just absolutely an enormous blow.
Well, I mean, you didn't have their top 2 wideouts and their top 2 corners. You're talking about key missing pieces for Alabama, and at some point, we just get used to Alabama overcoming all the stuff that they normally overcome. But you could tell that the chemistry that Bryce Young had with his receivers wasn't there with the replacements. As good as those guys are, 4- and 5-star, Alabama's got 77 of the ESPN top 300 at some point on their roster. So it's not a lack of talent, but chemistry matters. But the thing that I was really thrilled, I found myself surprisingly, because I'm really, as somebody who went to Tennessee fan, I'm not a Georgia fan or an Alabama fan. And shout out to Tennessee and Auburn, the only 2 teams who have to play both Georgia and Alabama every year. And that may explain some of the difficulties that we've seen of late. But anyway, I found myself surprisingly happy for Georgia fans, for Georgia to see the joy, to see the excitement. Kirby Smart was absolutely wild out there, as he should be, and I really think that they kind of did to Alabama what Alabama had done to so many teams early in the kind of the mid 2010s, where didn't have a great, spectacular quarterback necessarily, but a guy that was solid, dependable, good leader, had an amazing amount of size, had an amazing amount of just sheer quality, and then just a ruthless continuation of physicality that ultimately I thought it was interesting to see Nick Saban kind of get beaten with his own formula.
Yeah, and to do it by a guy that, he seems to have a pretty genuinely good rapport with. Like, that exchange at midfield, I thought was kind of touching. Like Saban smiling after a loss. And, the interesting part in all this, too, is this was a rebuilding year for Alabama. Nick Saban would never say that. He'd probably hate me for saying it. But I think that, honestly, you saw it at the halftime of the Auburn game. Alabama kind of has been playing with house money. And that's a really weird thing to say about a team that was a quarter of a way from doing it. But not to diminish what Georgia's doing. 41 years, right? That's and not just 41 years, but you talk to people around college football, and they have said it for a long time that Georgia is equipped for sustained. This is the job. They say it's set up to be the best job and the best program in college football. Then the buzz. Now that's very debatable, right? You can go a lot of different ways with that, but I see why. And this is the peak of all of it. And yeah, if you're Kirby Smart and you have built this monster and you had this wonderful defense and you're 0-4 against your, your former head coach, and it is this enormous stigma to like let again, it was like, an emotional day. And not only, like, you talk about the fans and like all that's going in, bottles are being thrown, you had everybody's crying. Like, this was like college football in a stadium. I don't love these games in NFL stadiums. You know that. We've talked about that forever.
Mm-hmm.
This was a college football-y environment, man. You had beer bottles, you had people crying, players crying, coaches like embracing. Like, there was a lot that went into this. And yeah, if you're a Georgia fan, like, you're probably still very, very intoxicated and have decided that you're skipping the next 2 weeks of work and you're going to relish in this one. And I understand why.
Well, now the question is going to become what happens from here? Because, we've seen early on the attempt to get to 12, which we kind of thought was an inevitability, is not so much an inevitability now. The ACC coming out today, in fact, ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips saying that they don't believe in the expansion, whereas the Pac-12 is into it. Greg Sankey in the SEC seems to be into it, but Bob Bowlesby maybe not so much. And a lot of this comes down to, Adam, the idea of sort of biting the hand that feeds you. The SEC stealing, in the eyes of the Big 12, the two biggest dogs they got, and then trying to have their cake and eat it too by expanding the playoffs to make sure that they still have opportunities to be in the discussion. And to make sure the SEC can expand and still not sacrifice playoff spots. I think other conferences are getting wise to this and saying, no, that doesn't seem like it's going to really help us as much as it's going to help them. Maybe this isn't going to work. Are we going to get to a stalemate here? What happens?
I think that Oklahoma and Texas changed the entirety of the conversation. Like, to me, you had clear momentum building within the sport. It was kind of one of the many themes of the offseason. And then when you had that happen right around times media days was happening, the distrust and the volatility and everything, people kind of just like battened down the hatch and said, we're not ready to do this. To me, that's the turning point. But here's the reality. The ratings for this national championship were not good. It was a great game. It was wonderful to be at. I'm not a ratings guy. I don't want to get my Ravel on, but it's important. The semifinal games, the ratings were not good, and the games were not good.
Yeah. They put them on New Year's Eve. I mean, this is
and this is exactly, and there are variables that are why they're not good. So you have all these things, but the reality is that the product is not delivering like in a results it has to deliver to, and when that happens, it's going to probably guide change, I would imagine. So I think it'll be a really interesting offseason. We are going to expand. Like, it is going to happen. I think you're going to have some that are probably, kicking and screaming along the way. But it's going to happen because the current system is just, it's lacking excitement. It's lacking variety. Again, I thought that you got the two best teams and you got a pretty compelling game, and that's great. But ultimately, money talks in this sport. We know that, and right now it's saying that we got to do something different. So yes, there's a general distrust. You could feel that in Indy. You talk to people in Indy, like it's gonna take a lot to get there. But I think we're going to get there just because look at the results. The results speak for themselves.
There's no question that's the case. Now, as we kind of start to turn the page toward, really, well, and we're now in the off season, sad to say, I hate it because it's such a long off season. College football is so fleeting, man. It's Labor Day and then through, and that's it, man. It's very sad. So we have a long way to go. Do you think, as we kind of see the alignment of these things, that has the sea level changed at all with the issues? Ohio State had a few little hiccups. We've seen Oklahoma now trying to deal with the loss of Lincoln Riley. Clemson dealing with coordinator losses and kind of a really rough campaign for them. Does this just kind of reinforce that maybe we're in a world where it's kind of Alabama and Georgia, and then everybody else is sort of scrambling around in the dark for third?
You look at the odds, right? And I'm looking at them right now. for next year's championship. You got Alabama plus 225, and by the way, it's been a very good day for Alabama in terms of a lot of their key defensive players returning. They're going to lose some talent, they always do. And then Georgia plus 275, and there's going to be an exodus of talent at Georgia, but there's still a lot of pieces in place. You got Ohio State plus 550, which makes a lot of sense, and then you've got a significant drop to Clemson at plus 1,200. That is pretty telling, right? We do these odds every year. They don't normally look just like that. Texas A&M coming in next at plus 22 to 1, plus 2,200. So if you're sick of the sport being top heavy, this may not necessarily be the year. And honestly, and I was going to write this if Alabama won this game, you could trace the postseason discontent back to one person, and that's Nick Saban. Right? You got Georgia to deal with now, but you could trace back a failed, like a postseason that's losing steam, to Alabama fatigue. And if the strategy in all of this is going to be wait for Nick Saban to retire, like, I don't think he's going to retire anytime soon. I think if he stays healthy, honestly, he's going to keep going. Like he loves to do this. So yes, I hope I'm wrong, because I do think there's some really interesting things at USC, and I think Caleb Williams' decision, wherever he goes, if it's USC or otherwise, is going to probably swing this discussion one way or another, because I think he's that good. But as much talent is going to leave Alabama and Georgia, look, Alabama's going to enter the year next year with probably the number 1 and number 2 picks, like, on their roster in Will Anderson and Bryce Young. And if you are tired of Alabama, what's happening with those two and what's happening today, where they're getting a lot of their pieces back, is not, it's not great news if you have Alabama fatigue, because again, we got a long way to go, but they are positioned obviously to be really, really good, if not better again.
It's going to be something to see, man. Well, we are always thrilled to spend another season with you. We're going to keep it up as much as we can throughout the off season as well, because there's plenty to talk about, including a bunch of transfers and things we haven't even got a chance to get to. Some returning guys, some guys, and we'll start talking NFL as well in just a little bit too with you. So we'll always expand the horizon. So, but I'll now that we're kind of done with the season. I always just wish you a great season, because it's always good to have you, and I can't wait to get on to some different stuff next week.
Likewise, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. He's our buddy Adam Kramer joining us on the program. We'll return, finish up hour number 1. We'll talk to Kari Thompson coming up in hour number 2 as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 98.5.
Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio, presented by Tito's Vodka, from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mount Moriah Auto Sales. What sets them apart? Great selection, quality, high-end to low-end cars, and low mileage. Mount Moriah Auto Sales is under new management. Ask for Emmett or Steven. Check out their great selection of cars or trucks. Choose from Dodges, Jeeps, Fords, GMCs, Infinitis, Porsches, Range Rovers, Lexus, Mercedes, BMWs, even Bentleys. Mount Moriah Auto Sales also has a great service department with 12 bays for everything from oil changes to alignment to new tires. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Pick out your like new car or truck today. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner and right on the price.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We've all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, that's not possible. There are aerial pictures that can be taken every 4 years that can be used to measure most buildings, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof, or even if you need one, looking at pictures that could be 4 years old. If you'd rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, give us a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best service we know how to give. Fiveash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
The new year means the Start Something New sales event is on, so get ready at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude, $339 a month or $26,250. And get ready for adventure in 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude, $429 a month. Get Stone Cold Strength in 2021 Dodge Charger XST at $459 a month. And the Muscle Masterpiece 2021 Dodge Challenger GT, $488 a month. Trade up and we'll give you more for your ride at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best or shop online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months, 3.99 APR. Must finance with Chrysler Capital, $3,500 down. Renegade MPN 27951, MSRP 285. Cherokee MD 235765, MSRP 32090. Charger XSD MH 659742, MSRP 35385. Challenger GT MH 665256, MSRP 37475. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/3/2022 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Oh, man. Big day already.
You know what it is.
One pretty pearl says, OMG, Peter, this Carolyn introduction makes so many other things make sense.
Yeah, it does. Bro.
Yeah.
It does.
I choked on my lunch laughing.
It does.
I always keep it real with you guys, man. Just being real. Just being honest.
The people love real Peter and fired up Peter.
I knew you went to a private school and all those type of things, but didn't know y'all had a freaking black woman maid that I'm assuming had a big ass.
I don't think there's a Carolyn around that doesn't have a big
It wasn't like she lived in the house. It wasn't anything like that.
But you saw this woman often.
Oh yeah. She'd come by I don't know.
Was she a shapely woman, Peter? Was she a curvaceous woman?
It's okay to say no comment, Peter.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say. I just was. Carolyn was just always there. I love Carolyn. She's awesome.
She was an auntie figure, Sane. That's all.
Yeah, that's basically. Man. Yeah, I would say that's.
Describe your aunt from your childhood, Sane.
Who?
See, that's how Peter feels.
I ain't had no figure like that in my life.
That's how Peter feels. That's aunt, man.
Yeah.
I ain't had one.
Auntie ass. That's aunt.
What?
Peter, this just makes so much sense now, bro. Then you know what? I'm just kind of combining stories you told. Like the story you told about your mom sold the Joe Montana jersey to the school for $200.
Yeah.
Like she could have just donated $200. Your parents had enough bread to go just donate $200 to the school without having to give them a Joe Montana jersey.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah, I'm sure they did. They could have.
Yeah, man, I'd be mad if I was you.
You know, that's just what I'm saying. This is. It was my, I thought it was mine. I thought it was mine for life. I was going to keep that thing forever. Yeah. Had it snatched away from me, man. Not cool.
How does it make you feel, Peter?
Yeah, I'm still mad about it. To this day, I'm still mad about it.
Oh, man, I'm laughing so
ridiculous,
hard,
man. So anyway, that's just. I'm glad y'all know. I'm glad we know.
Yeah, man, we on square one now, man.
We know each other better now. That's what it's all about. Right there. I like to do that. I like to help you guys learn. Take a little peek.
Everybody's
behind the curtain.
Twitter's tripping. My personal text is tripping, man. Texas says this explains why Peter has an affection for black women, big booties and all. I'm crying in the car.
Do you think that's it? I never.
It probably did. Never, yeah, it probably did.
I honestly never really thought about it. So
how old was Miss Carolyn back then?
She was probably in her 40s, I'd say.
Yeah, it did something to him. It did something to him.
Carolyn was the first one that probably took him to the denim.
Like I say, I remember Carolyn's, Carolyn's kids. I remember.
See? It's making sense out in there. It's making sense out in there.
She was just.
Denim and Diamond Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, when did you cry when you realized you couldn't bring a black girl home? Did you cry?
Did he cry?
I could. I mean,
I'm not accusing your family of being racist. Let me take that joke off the table. I apologize.
Yeah, because I was going to say. I mean, there's definitely parts of my extended family where that probably would be a bad situation. My home was very open to all.
All right.
Wouldn't have been an issue. But
I can't remember who I was talking.
Another extended family home. It might have been an issue. Yeah, it might have been a concern.
I remember I was talking to this lady, and she said that she said she grew up around all the black kids in the neighborhood, and there was a black lady in the neighborhood that kind of kept all the kids. Like she would hang out with them. Mm-hmm. She said that she didn't realize that she wasn't black until she was like a nice age, like 9 or 10, something like that. She thought she was a black kid her whole life, white girl. But she said I was like, okay.
But that's a good story, though. That means she was inclusive.
Yeah. She said she didn't know.
That's cool. You didn't.
She thought everybody.
She didn't really think about it. You didn't really think about it. Yeah.
Now flip that story around, and I guarantee you that other kid knew they were black.
Who is this white girl? But yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's hilarious,
the thing with kids, man, is that you roll with whatever's happening for the most part, and so you just kind of. Like, I don't know. One of the things I learned having kids and seeing my kids play with, we went to in all the preschools and daycares and schools and stuff, and then they're always around, all different, like especially the preschool. We went to one there was so many different ethnicities. Like it was crazy. We had white kids, black kids. You had Hispanic kids. You had kids from India. You had probably 5 or 6 different religions, in this, like it was just very multicultural, and the kids didn't care. Like they just played. Like it's, he's got
kids never care.
My daughter, my daughter was good friends with a kid whose family is, the father, wore a turban, and they had strict rules about food and this sort of thing and all that stuff, and it's just like. They were Sikh, I believe, and it's like just didn't matter. Like we had a co-birthday party with them when my daughter turned 5. Like it's just it just didn't matter. So
one pretty.
It's amazing with kids. Kids just kind of make you realize that stuff. Like you just don't even And then when we get older, is when we start messing them up. We start and we're the ones who mess them up, and that's unfortunate.
And see, and one pretty pearl said, because Memphis is so small, one of us in this listening audience knows Carolyn or her daughters, guaranteed.
I mean, for sure.
It was the cocoa butter smell that did something for you, wasn't it? You smelled that mahogany gravy at a young age, didn't you?
I'm telling you, to this day, my father has no conception of how to wash clothes. not a clue.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Dude, cause him his Carolyn.
Not a clue. Not a clue, man.
But, man, I'm going to tell you something real quick before we go to the break. I've told this story on air before. When I was a kid, and I know this shaped my life as well. When I was a kid, I grew up in South Memphis, right? They had a thing back then that will never happen again. They bus kids from South Memphis out to East Memphis because they bused me from Alta. I was supposed to go to Alta Elementary School and then Longview Middle School, back when Longview was a school.
Scary cat.
They bust me out. They bust kids out from my neighborhood out to Willow Oaks Elementary. Mm-hmm. And I was smart when I was a little kid, so I was in optional classes, and I was having to get up and ride the bus to school to be in a class where I was one of only maybe 2 black kids in the whole classroom. So I had to deal with socially fitting in with the black kids on the bus from my neighborhood, the black kids from my school that lived in that neighborhood, the white kids at the school who lived in that neighborhood, and then these smart kids in my optional class.
That's the Drake effect.
It's the cultural shock. There's nothing that can compare to that, bro. Because in a private school, it's different. You know what I mean? Because everybody there is private school kids. This is a public school where you hear neighborhood kids on your bus you got to deal with. And I had to be so many different people for all those people. I need counseling to this day, bro.
Yeah, that's that Drake effect, man. Not one shade enough too much, and not the other side.
Yeah, man, it was so
strange.
That's
that Drake
and
effect,
I was talking to a kid. One of the kids that was doing it when I was doing it, we were talking, we're both, 40-something now. We was like, bro, that was the strangest times. Like, you know, and it kind of shaped so much stuff, like our way of thinking and everything. Like to go from being a kid in South Memphis to like now you're in a school full of white kids. Like it was the strangest thing ever.
You had a whole, it was a whole.
Yeah, it was a real culture shock. I'm in class tired as hell because I had to catch the bus at 6 in the morning. These kids, and I'm poor as hell. These kids, like seeing kids eating out of a lunchbox was the wildest thing I'd ever saw.
Absolutely, because you were watching Channel 3.
I thought it was something you saw on TV. When I saw kids not eating like the free stuff at school, I was like, all right, what is this? Like this is real. Like seeing kids eat Lunchables. Like, man, like for real, they really sell that stuff? Because my parents couldn't afford this.
A lunchbox was fancy.
Like these kids eat out of a lunchbox. For real. Like, y'all parents get up and make y'all breakfast every day? Like, I could not understand that, bro.
It's all good, man. Kids rule, man. Kids rule.
Hour number 2 on the way. We're going to talk to Kari Thompson, among other things. We're learning. We're learning today.
Oh, yeah, man. Peter has
learning today.
Maid and the butler running around the house.
There's a Real Sports Talk, Sports 56.
Oh, good.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? Glasses have been around 700 years. Isn't technology supposed to get less expensive over time? Well, there's a simple explanation. For decades, the eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high while reaping huge profits.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. And if you need an updated prescription, they've got a few easy ways to help you get one. Just go to warbyparker.com to try 5 pairs of frames for free. They'll ship them to you to try out for 5 days. If you find a style you like, they'll send you a fresh pair with your prescription. Easy. Go to warbyparker.com to pick your 5 frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com to get started for free. warbyparker.com.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike is where you'll find the most bang for your buck. Take your pick with adventure-ready 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport or highest safety-rated 2022 Eclipse Cross. Ready to ride at $349 a month. And this is not a lease. You own it. Want 31 mpg highway in your SUV? We Gossett with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now $398 a month. Plus, at Gossett Mitsubishi, you always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So for our best deal, look no further than Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, 3,000 down, 500 loyalty rebate, 500 military rebate, Sport NU 001422, MSRP 27010, Cross NZO 49092, MSRP 27,000, Outlander NZO 53093, MSRP 29615, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2022. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Oh, Bootsy. My guy. It's my guy right here. I don't even know how we got here. I don't even know how we got here on the show. I don't know how we got here on the show today.
Funky Friday's just not the same anymore. Because every time I hear Funky Friday, I'm thinking about Saturday morning cleanup music. And Peter said, I have no clue what white people listen to on Saturday morning because I had a maid.
Any chance on Saturday mornings that Peter radio was on WDA, like all blues Saturday morning.
So he's heard this music. He don't know the main problem was playing all bro. Just answer so many questions, bro. Like Peter's music catalog.
This is all music that we clean up and And Peter has been engulfed in it all his life and had no.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
No man. I mean, I would come out like both my parents were working, so I'd come home from school and it would just be, I would just hang out with Carolyn. So
oh God. Oh my God. I can't think. Yeah. Bro, this is the wildest thing ever, bro.
And Carolyn bumping Parliament.
This answers everything, bro. This literally everything we joke with Peter about comes back to this. Everything, bro.
I told you guys I'll tell you the truth. That's what I do.
Man,
it's a real story.
Text me Miss Carolyn's name. I guarantee you if I go on Facebook and find her, I know this lady. I guarantee you, bro.
She's probably working at a charter school, teaching.
Man.
Loving on kids still, that's all.
I got
So she was there every day after school?
Not every day, but when she was there, that was when she was there. She wasn't there on the weekends. She would come on weekday, like she would be weekday. I don't know when she had a key and all that stuff, so I don't know when she arrived, but she would just come in the house.
You would come home out of school, Miss Carolyn would be there.
Yeah, she'd already be there. Yeah.
Man, that's so.
Because I was a latchkey kid, forever. So like I'd come home and most time my parents weren't there till dinner time. So I was either there, especially as a after I can't remember when, like probably 9 or 10 when I was old enough to kind of like come home, and they weren't there. So whatever age that was, yeah.
Peter, you got me dying laughing, bro. This is the wildest. This is one of our wildest shows, bro.
It
just answers so many questions, bro. Like, cause we always like, why Peter get like that? This man said he had a black maid. Didn't know. I knew you grew up kind of all right because you went to a private school. I knew that, but bro, you was well off, bro.
Yeah, I would say we were not like super rich, but we were definitely like upper middle class, very upper, not pretty upper middle class.
This man got me tickled, bro. You think you know a dude, man, for sure. thought you was about the street. Thought you was about the street life, man.
Man.
Man, I'm over here hurting, man. The man said, Miss Carolyn. Pete, you gotta text me her name. I gotta see Miss Carolyn.
I will. I'm gonna try my best to see if I can run down. I talked to her a few months ago. It's been a little bit because she's long since retired from the game. So, I see her from time to time.
They see the game.
But yeah, she's doing really well, and I'll if I can run, I have to run down. I don't know what her new number is and all that stuff. So maybe I can run that down. Maybe we can maybe a dream we can have her on the show. Maybe.
Yeah, man.
What's the chances Kari had a maid?
I'm trying to see what them daughters you talking about. She get some kids. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh yeah.
That man told him just, hey, Peter, bro. This sounds like some stuff we can't talk about on air, man. I think Peter got some related stories for this, bro, for sure.
I can't. Like I said, I'm gonna have to just make some phone calls and see what we can.
See what we can clear, dog.
See what we can clear. We have to clear some stuff first.
You up later, man.
Oh God. Oh God! Look at the YouTube chat says we need an interview with the maid. Investigative journalism at its best.
Here we go. That's right. So you see that's why Anthony Sain's the best. You asked the right question.
We asked the tough questions, man. So far as a recap today, hold on. As a recap, we found out that for those of you who just tuned in to hour number 2, wondering how we got here, Darian. Our in-house DJ / producer, one of the best music choosers in the city, easily. We was just saying that, like, man, your vibe sounds like a certain era of time. It sounds like you just play a lot of music from the early 80s. And I said, that's what when he probably was a kid. I said, Peter, that's that Saturday morning black people cleanup music he's playing. He's just playing the cleanup mix. So I asked my good friend Peter Everson, co-host, did you grow up? I said, what did white people listen to on Saturday morning? Peter says, I don't know because I had a maid. We're all shocked, eyes wide open, mouths popped, like, what? And that just opened up a can of worms to explain everything about our friend Peter, who loves black women. He has a beautiful wife. Shout out to Ms. Evans. And we know that he also loves black women as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. She does too. She does too, by the way. So, you know.
The name is Bootsy.
And we know that Peter loves hip-hop music. And
right.
this is all just music he heard when the maid was coming over to the house, bro.
Bootsy Edmonston.
My formative years. That's right.
Let me ask you this, though, Peter. Did you leave the house with her? Like, did she take you, like, shopping and stuff like that?
I want to say once or twice. Not too often, though.
Okay.
But we every now and then we would, yeah. But most time, no.
Because I had my babysitter used to take me shopping with them on Saturday when they would go run their errands.
Yeah.
So many of my habits come from running around with them on the weekend.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. No, we didn't do a ton. I mean, I think I recall once or twice, but nothing like extensive or anything like that. Most time we were just at the house, just hanging out.
And you just
listening to WDI.
Listening
to WDI.
We talk. I talk. I mean, we would
like
talk.
Peter wouldn't even be Peter if it wasn't for this woman, bro. Like Peter might have just been like, I don't know, Chris Harrison or something. No, but Harrison. I need to talk to Harrison.
Right.
See if he had a black maid. Harrison, he takes Harrison right fast, bro. You have a man.
Yeah. He's got Harrison. He's got a story somewhere.
Too.
He's got a story somewhere. I don't know. He's got a story somewhere. So
who would Peter Harrison be if not for Miss Carolyn right now, bro?
I know Miss Carolyn.
Because Peter's woke. He's fighting for the cause and punching white guys.
Peter would be on Rock 103 right now. He wouldn't be with us.
Like for real. Like he would have been a totally different dude.
Totally different.
Well, you got to listen. You got to also. I mean, to be fair, I got to give a lot of credit. You know, my mom was. That was a
pretty woke too.
Yeah, I mean she was the director of community services for Shelby County government, and so she was in charge of any kind of public service, public housing, all that stuff. That was her job was to do the funding for all that stuff. So she would do grants and all that.
For real.
And as a kid, I would drive. She would drive, and we'd go to I remember one example I went to Hurt Village when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I met a lady named Miss Barnes, who was the community. She was kind of the I guess I don't know, but the kind of the community leader, or community organizer, and she would always fix. So I kind of got to know her over the years, and she would always like make us some food. We'd hang out in the conference center and kind of the community center there, and talk and do stuff. And while Mom was like, setting up. Doing things and setting, so as a young kid, like I was just exposed to a whole different area than like I was growing up in. Obviously, I was growing up, a whole different situation. And when I go down as a 6-year-old and I'm going to Hurt Village, and it's just all different. It's different. It's a little eye opening for young Peter to what in the all right, this is different. But it was great because I always got
house shoes and rollers.
I always got good. I always got good.
Somebody send me a picture of your baby, Peter. About to send it to you, bro.
Okay. I always ate well. So no, man, it was. I gotta give my mom. I gotta give my mom some credit to that.
Man, Peter, you got me
music wise and all that stuff. Nah, maybe.
You guys think Kari had a maid?
Kari Thompson
joins us.
Let's find out, man.
Well, you might have. I don't know. I don't know how he's living up in Boston. He might have.
Oh God,
Kari, you have a maid?
3 of them.
Man, quit playing. We being damn
3?
We had it's Revelation Friday, bro. For real.
Revelation Friday. Y'all got me dying with this title.
How long you been listening to the whole show?
I listened to the last couple minutes.
Nah, bro, you should have caught it fresh out the can. My man said he had a maid.
I got your picture. You're right. You're not. Maybe you're not too far off, Anthony. I don't know.
What? Couldn't lie. Miss Carolyn went that fine. You just said Miss Carolyn went fine.
No, she wasn't, unfortunately. But she was.
Oh man, bro, that's so funny, bro. I'm over here dying. I'm trying to see what's up with these daughters though, because Carolyn got some stray daughters out here on the time.
Carolyn got some strays.
Oh man.
So you didn't have a maid up in Boston there, Kari?
I mean, when you're the oldest of 4, you just make your little siblings clean it up. That's what you do.
Oh, there you go.
Kari, what kind of music did y'all listen to on Saturday morning?
Kind of listen. I mean, I don't know. We didn't have the traditional black cleanup music that you were talking about. Like,
well, what did y'all listen to, Kari? What was it? Once you heard it, you knew you had 5 minutes to be in the living room with a broom in your hand.
I mean, like, my name, like I'd get yelled at, like.
So it wasn't the music that gave you the warning. It was just she just started off with yelling.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess. Oh man, this dude got me screaming, laughing on the inside, bro. I can't get over this, man. You think you know somebody, bro? This man, freaking Daddy Warbucks over here.
Oh man! Oh, this is
yeah, Rich over here, man. What was the show that Carlton was on? Silver Spoon over here, man. Come on, bro.
Silver Spoon.
Me and Peter. Like, I mean, get this Photoshop going with me and Peter on Silver Spoons. Man, look at this.
Kari, we were talking to Adam Kramer about the college football, the whole atmosphere, the whole environment, all that stuff. I saw Coach Prime snatched up another top 100 recruit,
top 50.
and top 50. Oh, okay, all right. So, and it's you're kind of seeing this more and more, and I'm starting to wonder if these things aren't linked a little bit, Kari, where you have a kid who. A lot of these kids go into these other schools. Like, if you're going to go to, a non-Alabama or Georgia, like obviously Alabama, Georgia, top of the heap. Maybe Ohio State, a few teams like that. But apart from those schools, even like mid-moderate Power Fives, all of a sudden, if you're a kid, particularly a black kid, who's like, what's the difference? You're going to be, like a 7-win season. You're going to go to some bowl game that you're probably going to skip, if you're having NFL aspirations at some point. Like how much is there really a difference when you're going to get to the NFL and you're going to have a completely different experience? I kind of wonder if these things aren't linked a little bit.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to say for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just wild how brainwashed we've been as a people. And it's like not just football, but like, from a strictly football sense. I mean, you got kids that on the we have our own schools, we have our own HBCUs. Like, why is our culture that we don't pick these institutions? Shane, do you have an answer to that?
No, you were breaking up so bad, brother. I could barely make out what you were saying. Say it one more time, bro.
I was breaking up.
Yeah.
I was saying that like I've been trying to say that for a long time. It's like, why don't we pick HBCUs? We got our own schools. Like, what is it about our culture specifically where we don't support our own institutions?
I won't dwell on the past, bro. But I think that it's coming around that way. You know what I mean? Like, if I could do it all over again, I would have went to a HBCU. I'm thinking about picking up some classes right now, man. To be honest with you.
For real? You gonna hit up Lemoyne?
I'm gonna go and get that journalism degree, man, so I can be legit out here.
I love it. Let's do it. Come on, man.
Go.
Let's get it. I want to see this, man. I want to see this happen. I think it's great. It's a great. It's fun, and I think it's informative. I think it's special for these kids. I think you're seeing, some of the feedback, the early feedback from the players who have gone and who have done this, talking about how special it is. You've talked about your specific experience, and I just think as you get more and more, bigger name. Folks, I mean, Deion's on his own planet as far as being a big name, but you get tons of NFL coaches and NFL assistants and former players and all that stuff that are really kind of gravitating towards it. I just think positionally now, it's a whole different level than it.
Did you see the latest big name who's supposedly thinking about coaching?
Who's that?
Jerry Rice.
Well, he should. Former Mississippi Valley State great, right? I mean, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely, he's living proof.
He was saying he wasn't thinking about it, and he told Sports Illustrated he wasn't thinking about it until Deion started doing it, and now he's thinking about it.
I just think that's really cool, man. That's a really it's going to be really amazing to see long term. I mean, Deion's legacy was already set. Multi-sport superstar and all that stuff. But it's going to be amazing to see how much of a part of this part of his life. How much does this define his legacy? And if things continue the way they are over the next 3 to 5 years, it's not really even about national championships at Jackson State. It's about just the lifeblood of the sport. And man, it's I think it could be a real defining thing for him.
He's just on another level, man. Like, if the only thing he did was, like, play in a World Series as starting center fielder for the Braves, that would be crazy impressive. But, like, on top of that, he's the greatest corner of all time. And then he's doing this at HBCUs. It's wild, man.
It's really incredible. All right, so we have all that information too. Now, are you becoming any bit of a Grizzly fan?
Yeah, man. I'm actually back in the city. I'm going to the game tonight. Let's go.
Oh. Did you hear that, Anthony?
Bandwagon Kari.
Man,
in
so
effect,
fake, man.
we out here.
Bandwagon Kari.
You better pick another team because your Celtics.
Did I see you in? Did I see you
juice.
in line, Kari? Did I see you in line with a Jason Tatum jersey yesterday? At the Grizzly game? I thought I saw you. I thought I saw you like on your knees with little feet, little footsies on your like. Son, that jersey looks a little big. Son, that jersey looks a little big for a kid.
Kid, you're about 6'8", man. What's going on?
No, he's walking around with shoes on his knees like Dorf.
Yeah,
he's
like Roscoe on Barton.
I'd like to trade this Jason Tatum jersey in. He sucks now. All right, son.
Get my little medium-sized jaw jersey.
Oh.
I can't get this in a 48, though, kid.
Sorry. I'm a big kid. I'm a really big kid. Come on, man, help me out. No, it's an incredible situation. Look at this, man. 11 wins in a row for the Grizzlies. They are, the hottest team, best team in the league since basically the end of Thanksgiving. They've been the best team in the league. And John Moran is a superstar who looks to be well on his way to starting an All-Star game. I mean, could you have imagined this? You've been here. You've lived here for long enough to see this thing. I mean, it's pretty amazing, right?
I mean, I didn't see the team success. I kind of saw Ja ascending to what he is right now. But just the team as a whole, winning 11 straight games, being third in the West. Nah, man, I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said that they would do what they're doing. I mean, it's amazing. You've got CNN writing about the Grizzlies. You've got like ESPN. They're all over ESPN. I mean, it's a great story.
Yeah, it's wild for sure, man. When you look at what guys like Ja are doing, Bane are doing, guys who are all still very young in this team, Jaren. Do you think this is a team that can just grow organically, continue to get better, or do you think they are still a piece away? Because if you want to give us Jaylen Brown or Tatum, we can make that happen. Or do you think we even need to a loser like that on this team?
No, I think they're doing it. They're doing it through culture, man. Like, I think they're doing it through chemistry, and just building something collectively. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this team needs to go out and make a crazy splash. I mean, you see what they're doing now. Now the question is, can they sustain it? And that's going to be the tough question with a young team always. But, dude, I think you just have a legit superstar in the making in John Morant. And, you have the supporting pieces in place that are getting the job done. Like, Grizzlies fans are in a good spot, man. Like, I think it's going to be a fun time in the city come playoff time.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a star in the making. I think he's a superstar. Period. I mean, he's going to start. He's going to end up starting the All-Star game. It looks like, and I'm telling you, man, it's a special time to look at it. Now, if you are the Boston Celtics, what lessons can the Grizzlies learn from the Celtics' inability to do anything with their young superstars?
Don't hoard draft picks.
See, Kari, I was telling people, we were talking about this yesterday on the show. I was saying, look, man, the Grizzlies they're in a really interesting spot because yes, everything's going great, and that's awesome for sure. So no issue there, but they do have 3 first-round draft picks this year, and that's great to see. And you think like, man, it's just awesome. Look at all this stuff that they've got, but as the Celtics have shown, if you don't do something with those picks, they're just going to kind of stagnate. You're just going to end up with a bunch of just blech. out there.
Okay, but there's one major exception to this, though.
All right.
Kyrie destroyed the Celtics. Like, he blew up the ship, man. I think if Kyrie was the player that we all expected him to be, and like that he stayed, like, I think we're having a completely different conversation. But Kyrie Irving decided to be Kyrie Irving. So that threw a monkey wrench into all the plans. Because you telling me a roster with the Jays and Kyrie Irving can't win? Like, come on, man.
I mean, I wouldn't have. I would have thought so, but here we are. Look, I mean, you see the deal, and Danny Ainge, who's now leading things in Utah, had plenty of opportunities, and he had the classic comments of, "Oh man, you had so many great. We got close. We were so close. We were in talks with whoever, but they didn't get it done." And I just tell everybody, and Zach Kleiman, I'm sure, is well aware. Like, if you don't use those picks, and man, it's just going to be. It's tough. If you don't use them, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're either going to trade them for not as much, or you're going to end up with a roster full of mediocre young guys who don't get playing time that they need because you have too many other young guys who are better or in better position. I don't think they can put themselves in that spot. But I also at the same time say, if they make a trade, it's tough because they've got such good chemistry right now. It's hard to make a trade to mess that chemistry up. So I do think they're in kind of a weird position. As strange as it is to say, I kind of think I'm going to say they almost have to trade, maybe make a small trade or something to kind of deal with this pick situation a little bit.
Let me ask you this: what's number one on the Grizzlies fans' wish list? Like, money and picks are no object. If Fantasyland, you could add one player to the roster, who is it?
You asking me or Peter or both?
Jaylen Brown. I'm realistic. I mean, for a very realistic addition, Jaylen Brown.
Really? You got to say this to mess with me, are you?
Of course we are.
I would never do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But for real though, Jaylen Brown is to me he's a perfect fit for this team. So, like, I don't know, realism, unreal. Who knows what? None of us really know what's actually gone on in these trade talks and all that stuff. So who can say? But I do think he's a absolutely flawless fit for this team. I think he fits the culture. I think he fits the on the court, off the court, you name it.
What say you?
What you got there?
Me? I think we're good at those positions, man. Like, I would love to have a Jaylen Brown on this team, but I'd much rather have like a super versatile 4-3, a guy that can be a wing and be a 4, can guard threes, can guard 4s, play a little defense, play some defense, knock down some threes. I would love to have that guy on this team.
So who is that guy?
Who's that?
Super Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson with a good shoulder.
So like regular Mo, not slow Mo.
Momo.
Yeah.
Momo Anderson. Just kidding, Mo. Taller John Conchar is what we need. We need taller John Conchar. Exactly. That's what we need right there. Taller John Conchar.
There we go.
All right. Well, Kari, enjoy the game, man. That's all I can say. I think you're gonna have a treat tonight. Luka versus Ja, the two guys they're battling it out right now for that final starting spot. Looks like Steven Adams is going to be back tonight, so we'll find out how that affects the Grizzlies. Haven't seen him in a bit, and see what that does for Jaren, who's been outstanding at the center spot. We'll talk about that as we continue, man. In the meantime, have a good one, buddy.
Appreciate it, man. Bandwagon Kari in full effect. We out.
Bandwagon Kari with his free John Morant jersey that he got yesterday at the
Kids a little tall here. Those shoes.
All right, I guess I got to take your word for it.
I don't see any actually toes in those shoes. It looks like
sort of. I'm not so sure about this, but okay. All right, fair enough.
Why not?
Thank you very much, Kari. We appreciate it. When we come back, we will talk about the game tonight, what it means. Also, we'll get into a little bit of the weekend, including another game for the Tigers and injuries and everything else. talk about it a little bit. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to bum people out. But we'll continue here on the program. And maybe more revelations.
More Saturday morning story.
What can we find out? I don't know. We'll see. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
You have opinions?
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike is where you'll find the most bang for your buck. Take your pick with adventure-ready 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport or highest safety-rated 2022 Eclipse Cross. Ready to ride at $349 a month. And this is not a lease. You own it. Want 31 mpg highway in your SUV? We Gossett with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now $398 a month. Plus, at Gossett Mitsubishi, you always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So for our best deal, look no further than Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, 3,000 down, 500 loyalty rebate, 500 military rebate, Sport NU 001422, MSRP 27010, Cross NZO 49092, MSRP 27,000, Outlander NZO 53093, MSRP 29615, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2022. Dealer stock only.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place. That's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Is your bank standing in the way of you and your sportsbook? Try Action 24/7. We're cutting out the middleman. Deposit or withdrawal in cash. No more bank delays or failures. Action 24/7 has more than 100 partners in Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals. Visit action247.com for a location. Cash deposits and withdrawals from your Tennessee sportsbook. Action247.com. You got action.
Must be 21 or older and in Tennessee. For problem gambling support, call 800-889-9789.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Yeah. Come on now. You don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, we know you do, Peter Evans.
Oh, yeah, you know.
You got this deep in your soul, man.
That's exactly right.
You know I'm calling you as soon as the show's over with you to tell me your black women stories.
I know you. I cannot, and I will tell you now. I cannot. I can't. I got immediate stuff I got to do after the show today, but I will talk to you about this weekend. Okay, make an appointment. I can't do it right after the show. But we will talk.
We're gonna book an appointment.
We will talk about it. We will. I promise you. We will.
Yeah.
We will hash it out. So yeah.
Man, it's so many things you kind of alluded to over the year in this show, and I'm like, it's going back to my playing back in my mind. Like, yeah, man.
Just drop little breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
throughout
Adventures in
everybody.
Babysitting. Yeah, we got you. We got you, bro.
I like your tweet out there.
Movie cover, yeah.
The help.
The help.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Young Peter Evans.
Funniest thing about it, if you see the little lady's feet under Peter, I keep looking at the little legs under Peter.
Oh God.
Oh, man.
Man, I'm over here in tears, man.
So anyway, we will we'll continue to fight. I don't know what we're gonna do from this point on. Honestly,
Find out Peter Kojic. Or Church of God.
Hey, Peter probably had a nouveau curl when he was a kid.
I can't.
Kojic Peter.
Man, Peter had a nouveau curl, but
that's we
Pete, you ever
we
got your haircut
did
at Black
that.
Rose?
We did talk about a lot of that. We did talk about church a lot. So
For real?
That's true.
Oh God, this is so wild, bro. It's like who are you, bro? Like, you got freaking silver spoon over here, man. Oh God.
Oh man, it's just different, you know. It's just different, man. We're just living and learning, man.
Yeah.
Living, learning, loving. Come on.
Oh God.
All right.
This has
so
been one of
let's.
the best shows we've ever done.
I'm happy I'm always happy.
Oh
to
God,
help. Like I
my
said,
phone is blowing up. Like what? Because I told somebody about it. It's like, how did y'all even get there? And I was like, well, let me explain it to you.
It is crazy how we got there.
Oh God.
It doesn't make any sense really unless you listen to the show. You really would not understand. And so I just tell people just listen. Just listen. I promise you, it'll make sense if you listen. It would make sense.
Oh God.
Believe it. All right, so tonight Grizzlies back-to-back, continue the back-to-back at home. They try for win number 12 in a row, and they do so with what would appear to be a returning Steven Adams. He's not listed on the injury report anymore. He's been out with COVID, and then he was out with non-COVID illness. So it seems as though he's back and ready to roll. Presumably he jumps in the starting lineup. Jaren plays alongside him. It is interesting, though, to see the growth that Jaren Jackson Jr. has had as a center
thrown into the fire,
him. I mean, he really it has changed the course of the season. And you know, I see a lot of people jumping on this now, and that's cool. I'm fine with people jumping on, no problem. But I've told people for a long time, and I stand by this, that the Grizzlies, in order to be the best Grizzly team that they can possibly be, the best version of the Grizzlies has to have Jaren Jackson Jr. as the center. I mean, that's to me that's the championship group. You see the possibilities and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying they can't do well and that they haven't done well with Steven Adams. Of course they have, but the difference is striking when they can throw in an extra bit of shooting, an extra bit of versatility, all that stuff. If you can see the rim protection from Jaren Jackson Jr. and he can hold his own at that center position, then all of a sudden you're talking about something really, really special. And so in the games that we've seen him, the 4 games that he's played full-time center, the last 4 games for the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr., here's what he's averaging, Anthony's saying. He's averaging 20 points, shooting 46%, 33% from 3, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 5 blocks per game.
Sounds like a starting center to me.
2 steals, 5 blocks per game.
Sounds like first team all defensive to me.
I mean, that sounds.
Peter,
like,
you got to stop pushing that campaign
too,
man, because the nerds, when you tweet stuff out, nerds listen to you. When I tweet out a bunch of
That's
news,
true.
South Memphis respond.
South Memphis respond.
If you tweet, bro, if you start tweeting like those numbers, like compared to Mark's like defensive player of the year season, that stuff needs to catch wind, bro. Like for real.
Yeah. I think he's his. If you watch him, he's also getting to the foul line more. But I mean, just to stick to the defensive side of it, you could see when he is in the game how difficult it is for some of these teams to perform. You need to see just because a lot of times it doesn't even necessarily manifest itself in blocks. It's just you can see last night when D'Angelo Russell kind of drives in and then sort of turns back around and kind of, readjusts because he sees Jaren Jackson Jr. there late in the game. You see Jaren Jackson Jr. able to block, Anthony Edwards on a drive, Jaren really specializes in that kind of block from behind, that catch-up block when he's guarding a guard at the perimeter. And, the guard goes by him, but Jaren is so long and so quick to respond that he's able to just kind of come in and knock that layup off the glass.
That's Chris Paul. I think he got Chris Paul twice here. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, yeah, he's gotten a lot of dudes with
getting
that move.
them.
That's kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's been so good in the last month plus. And it's just, I'm sort of biased because I'm a big, I've been a huge fan, obviously, for since day one. I don't think you'll find a bigger Jaren Jackson Jr. fan out here than me. Okay.
I hope he doesn't put a lid on his bucket, though, guys.
How about that?
I hope he keeps it going.
But it's different. It's different.
Put a lid on your bucket. My bad.
Do you think? Yeah. Now the Grizzlies, they're playing now against this is a Mavs team that's going to have their eye on them, though. They're going to be. It's going to be, they're the target, not only just from a standings point of view, because the Mavericks are trying to hang on, kind of down in that 5th spot right now. They've been playing pretty well, but they got thumped the other night. Not only that, but of course, you have Luka against Ja. That's kind of a little subplot. You have a divisional matchup. That's a little bit of a subplot.
Won't get into unicorn versus unicorn, though.
Unicorn. Yeah. And Porzingis has played really well of late. As you were pointing that out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the technical foul game. Last game here, off the text towards the end. Dylan got a text. Yeah, we were kind of feisty towards the end.
Dastardly Mavericks.
We were kind of feisty towards the end.
Yeah, that is true.
The King.
Hey,
bring him out
for the peeps listening that are going to the game tonight. A little bit of a later start. We're on TV tonight. We're on national television night. So 9 o'clock tip.
Oh, I probably won't catch much of it.
I said, make sure it's not 9 Eastern, but it said 9 o'clock tip. Not our normal 7 o'clock game.
No, it's 9 o'clock tip.
9 o'clock Central. Yeah, 9 o'clock.
It's a late.
This is the payoff game. This is a game where the little tykes got the tickets yesterday, so we should see the little tykes with their Ja Morant jerseys on tonight.
Yeah,
Little
stay
Tykes
up late.
Yeah, Little Tykes got to stay up until past midnight.
Midnight.
I
don't want his Ja Morant jersey no more.
Also, one more note: pajama night.
What?
Pajama night at the Grizzly game tonight.
Well,
that's probably why it's so late.
It's
Pajama
so late.
Jammy Jam.
I might have followed up.
Yeah, they got that. They got the Ja Morant tech suit pajama top that they're giving away as well. I think so.
Yeah, bro. I'm
first 3,000 people and all that stuff.
That's today's game. I thought that was the game.
Pajama Jammy Jam tonight, man.
No, I thought that was
Pajama Jammy Jam.
I think that's right. I think it's tonight.
I don't even think they marketed it. There you go, Pajama. See,
look at it. Free.
Ma.
Yeah.
That's what Ja's parents called themselves, pajama. We got Pa and
Pa, Ja, and Ma.
Y'all
look at it.
Come on, man. Yeah, come on.
Come on now. Oh, I was feeling extra silly.
Pa, Ja. Their daughter probably feels so left out if they ever do that. Anyway.
Oh, I know. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's right. All right. So we mentioned the Grizzlies since the night after Ja Morant got hurt, 21-4, and they are. I'm using the cleaning glass numbers here. I use those because they filter out a lot of the lopsided results. They'll filter out the entire fourth quarter of that blowout, the historic blowout of Oklahoma City. They get rid of a lot of those numbers, so it really does help to kind of equalize the numbers and take some of the lopsidedness out of them. But even if you take those out, the Grizzlies are still number one by far in terms of of net rating, 13.7 points per 100 possessions, better than their opponents. They are third in offense. They are first in defense, first in offensive rebounding by a mile. Thank you, Steven Adams. First in opponent field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage allowed. Second in turnovers percentage forced, behind only Toronto. It's just you go up and down the list, and the really crazy thing about it is that they're not even shooting the ball well at all by the standards that you would expect. if you look at the numbers shooting wise since that in that same stretch where they're 21-4, the Grizzlies are 15th, the middle of the pack in effective field goal percentage. They are one of the worst teams in mid-range, which, thankfully for them, they don't necessarily shoot a ton of them. They are 19th in shooting at the rim, 28th in long mid-range shot, 27th in corner three-point percentage. So imagine if they were making these shots.
Yeah.
Imagine they're doing all this stuff and they're not even really playing at a extremely high level on offense. Just think about what that would look like if they
were actually hitting these shots.
Yeah, I mean it could be even better.
So you're saying we're about to win the championship?
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a team that looks like they got some stuff. They got some room to improve.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's then when you think about the depth that they have in this team, I hate using the word depth because when it comes down to the playoffs, you're gonna play a much tighter roster. But man, they've got, even after you trim it down, you've got a solid number of guys. I'm gonna tell you something that I'm gonna take a look at, especially with the trade deadline coming up, because we've been talking about the obvious guys have been Kyle, Tyus, because they're on their expiring contracts. I'm gonna tell you a guy who I think could end up being a possible casualty trade deadline. Not because he's a bad player, but just kind of a numbers game. Because once you find out that you've got a guy in John Conchar who can do the things he can do, shooting the ball like crazy, and you got a guy like Zaire Williams that you realize is worth developing, I think you see who I'm pointing at. I would not be shocked if there's a DeAnthony Melton deal at this point.
Yep. And he's also just not played,
he ain't been great.
Well. Like he's been one of the few guys that has not been particularly good for the Grizzlies in this stretch. Out of all the people that have won games for the Grizzlies, he really hasn't been one of those guys.
And if you can find something that gets you like a pick back and you don't bring salary back, or you get an expiring back or something like that, like that would be perfect for the Grizzlies.
I gotta think.
If you go expiring, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I just gotta think DeAnthony Melton and a pick would get you something.
You want to get a player back?
I got to think that maybe, but I got to think that at least gets you something.
It's gonna get your Westbrook.
Maybe even a pick, maybe even a pick down the line. A better first round pick. A year in 2023 or 2024. Push that pick back a little bit. There may even be the situation where they kind of try to push their picks back this year as well. But they need to. It's something they got to consider. And I agree with you as far as like DeAnthony Melton goes. Out of all the Grizzlies that are out there, he's really the one that has struggled the most in this stretch of time. Since he's come back from health and safety protocols and all that, shooting 20% in the 5 games that he's come back in, 20%, 13% from 3. With just not a ton of contribution. So, you could still win, but it's not surprising that some folks are starting to whisper. And as we've pointed out before, like they just have at some point they're going to have to trim down that group.
Get it ready for the
playoffs. They can't go in there with a group that big. It's just not going to work. So something for them to kind of consider. And I think that's something that they'll have to consider over the next little bit. Just like our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. Of course, you know them, you love them. It's something for you to consider at FanDuel because they're making everything a little bit more fun for what is a extremely special, big-time wild card weekend. You know it. You love it. It is the wild card weekend, and the super wild card weekend, in fact, is really, really big. It's even bigger because of FanDuel Sportsbook. It's wild. It's wild card weekend. New customers, here's how wild it gets. You get 30-1 enhanced odds. That means you can bet $5 to win $150 on any wild card game. So if you think Tampa Bay is going to get it done, and I do, that's the bet I'm going to make. Now, I mean, again, you're free to do whatever it is that you want to do. But you give me Tampa Bay at home against Philly. I'll take the spread. I think I don't see it. I don't see it with Philly. I see this is another push for Tom Brady. Over 5,000 yards passing this year. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay that money down there. You can do whatever you want. Pick whichever the teams that you want to. There's 12 teams out there. You can jump in there and do it yourself. Sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook and make a deposit to claim those 30-1 enhanced odds. Simple, easy, safe, secure. When you win, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 2 hours. Don't miss your chance to win $150 off a $5 bet when you use promo code BIGHEAD when signing up. Take my bet, use my code BIGHEAD when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using promo code BIGHEAD and pick your wildcard team before kickoff. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Bonus for Tennessee users fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789. We'll get your preview for this weekend in addition to the Tiger discussion. We'll talk about that when we return here live. Hour number 2 presented by Poultry Power from the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 98.5.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
It doesn't matter how much you owe on your trade-in. It doesn't matter if you've got bad credit. Everybody saves big during Sunrise Buick GMC's year-end blowout. Hundreds of new and used Buicks and GMCs with a $5 million used car inventory, specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. Remember, Sunrise wants to get you financed. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, it's okay. Sunrise specializes in secondary financing and works to get you financed when no one else can. Zero down with approved credit delivers at Sunrise. Buy American and buy from sunrisememphis.com. Collierville, Covington Pike, and Wolf Chase. We make it fun to buy a car again.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Nothing's worse than starting trouble. Well, we can help you out. We can start with a free battery test. That way, we'll know if your battery is causing the issue. It could be your starter, it could be your alternator, and you don't want to waste money on the wrong fix. And if you do need a new battery, we've got you covered with a wide selection of replacement batteries. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2020.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
The new year means the Start Something New sales event is on, so get ready at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude, $339 a month or $26,250. And get ready for adventure in 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude, $429 a month. Get stone cold strength in 2021 Dodge Charger XST at $459 a month. And the muscle masterpiece 2021 Dodge Challenger GT, $488 a month. Trade up and we'll give you more for your ride at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the Master Shop online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months, 3.99 APR. Must finance with Chrysler Capital, $3,500 down. Renegade MPN 27,951, MSRP 28,5. Cherokee MD 235,765, MSRP 32,090. Charger XSD MH 659,742, MSRP 35,385. Challenger GT MH 66,5256, MSRP 37,475. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/3/2022 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Yeah, I've had a few people reach out to me as well about our show today.
What are they saying?
Just very curious.
They didn't know you either, did they? People who thought they knew you.
They didn't know you either, did they?
Maybe they didn't. I guess not. I like for folks to understand me better. That's very nice. One Pretty Pro reminds us that tonight is sleep mask.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Appreciate that.
The Grizzlies ain't sitting that over here in a while, man.
Put everybody to sleep because they're winning. They're selling. They're like we don't care.
I heard that the sleep mask
Talking to
actually
town.
has a University of Memphis logo on the front. It's actually on the inside. You where your eyes are is where there's a University of Memphis logo on it.
Oh man.
They call them U of M Somnia.
U of M Insomnia. There you go.
Did you guys catch any of Josh's press conference last night?
Mm-mm. Actually, I did. I think.
There's a quick little piece. I want to play it from
Go ahead, man.
and get a little bit of you guys' feedback. It's quick.
Go nuts.
All right, let's see.
Okay, all right.
In what areas do you feel like you've shown the most growth this season?
Winning.
To the winning.
What is that?
And whatever I can to help my team win. I think it's, pretty much that. I feel like it's simple. My first 2 years, not saying, I wasn't winning, but, I'm on an 11-game win streak right now.
So that's my question. Has he learned to genuinely win, or is this just a fad? Like, has he learned not to lose those close games? Brevin and Pete were making a point the other night that we have that guy. When the games are tight now, there's no guessing where the ball is supposed to go here or there. I think I was impressed with that answer because to learn how to win is to kind of take that next level, that next jump. Going from a 17 to 19 point game guy, now he's a 25 point game guy. I was very impressed that he didn't go elsewhere with what he's learned. He's learned how to win.
I think that he's picking his spots better. I think last year in his rookie year, job was kind of like, well, like if I try to come out scoring, I can't get those guys involved. I'm just gonna wait until the fourth quarter or whatever when it's winning time or whatever. But I think he realizes, okay, all right, we're up 4. If I make a run right here, if I can score 4 straight, we're up 8. I think he's realizing that, there's spots throughout the game that are crucial that can kind of, fold the game one way or another. And whether it's him scoring the point or finding a way to make another guy score a point, I think he's realizing those crucial moments of the game that can either swing the game one way or another.
Yeah, I think also part of it is that he's. I want to say, and we talked about this. I can't. I don't. You'd have to give him truth serum probably to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to think there's part of it, man. I felt like when Ja was out and he watched his team go 10-2 without him, playing unbelievable defense and all that stuff, he has to kind of think to himself, why are they doing this now? Was it something that I was doing or not doing?
Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
And I think if you watch Ja play defense now, he's still not a great defender by any stretch of the imagination, but the effort level
he's more bought
is
in.
much higher than it was early in the season. And he's realizing, I think, that in order for him to be the best Ja that he can be for his teammates and everybody else, that he has to at least contribute. You don't have to be perfect defender or anything like that, but he's got to be engaged. And he's been so much better, so much more engaged. He's played the best stretch of defense of his career in the middle of all this because he's just engaged. And I think that's what teammates pick up on that, man. That's where that chemistry comes in. When you look back and how many times the Tigers, I saw 2 or 3 times watching the Tigers where guys would just blow rotations completely and Tyler Harris just getting absolutely turnstiled and didn't try to recover. And then everyone starts throwing their hands up like, what? And then next thing you know, you've got 2 or 3 possessions on offense where everyone's kind of salty and mad, and that's how you ruin the Grizzlies. Just don't have that. Like they might mess something up, but it's not because of effort. And I think that's a big part of it. I think Ja had a little time to look in the mirror and say, man, maybe I do need to just pick it up a little bit on defense. I think he
sat around with Pod.
At least let my team see that I care about the same thing y'all care about.
Exactly. I care about winning. I care about winning, and I'm willing to sacrifice.
He's got a winning
even
attitude.
if I'm going to be. He's got. I think the attitude's there. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff, man. And just like my boy Verdell Gillespie said, we did all that talking about if Melton could be a dark horse to get traded. He made a great point. He said, "Watch Melton go for 30 tonight." Because it's just how the Grizzlies do, man.
I mean, it's what. Yeah, I mean,
it might be his night.
If how much money would you have bet if I said, okay, I'll give you $500 billion to 1 odds that John Contra is going to have 15 points and 17 rebounds in a game. And you got to bet me, you got to bet me 100. You never in a million years would you bet. Would you take even the craziest odds?
No, never.
So I don't know, man. You can't.
Great job today, guys. Big takeaway: Grizzlies are our college team, and the Tigers are the pros.
And Peter had a mate. That shaped his entire life.
More to that story. There you go. All right.
I can't wait to hear it, man.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here. Coming up next, Sports Time. Everybody, have yourself a great weekend. We'll talk to you. And be safe out there, too, because got some winter weather coming over the weekend as well. So, y'all be safe.
Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike is where you'll find the most bang for your buck. Take your pick with adventure-ready 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport or highest safety-rated 2022 Eclipse Cross. Ready to ride at $349 a month. And this is not a lease. You own it. Want 31 mpg highway in your SUV? We gossip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now $390